Good morning and welcome. I'm Tim and this is TimBatSea. I don't know how much of this you're going to see at all. But, we're taking a big 50 barge over here to Clean Waters to get all cleaned out. We've just come back from New Haven where we took about 2.5 million gallons of gasoline up there. Coming down, and I guess they're cleaning it out to do something else. So I don't know what they're doing, but that's our task for today. We did this job a few videos back with Danny. Danny was actually doing this one, and now it's my turn. So we're just hoping that the sun comes up a little bit so we can see a little bit better, and we'll put it in there. Hey, I've got a little trivia game for any of you that are interested in playing. Without going to Google, if any of you know what R-bob and P-bob are, spoiler alert, it's
We'll start heading up there, Tim.
Very good, thank you. Spoiler alert, it's they're gasoline, they're components that make gasoline, but it's an acronym. So many people will say regular for R-bob and premium for P-bob. But that's not what the acronym is. So if you know what the acronym stands for and you don't go to Google, write it in the comments. Or if you don't know, you can go to Google, or you can just look for somebody like Boston Paul or Scotty or any of the other tankermen that might watch the channel that'll definitely know what it is. All right. So if we look at the chart, we're coming up here. We're going to go over here. And I have an assist tug alongside me. He's riding along. And he's just there kind of as a safety backup for us. So just in case we have a problem, he's there to help us out. But I think this is going to go relatively smooth. My only problem is it's always difficult for me to find this thing in the dark. There it is, right there. I see it now. Okay. Sun's just starting to peek up over Brooklyn. Well, I shouldn't say the sun is. It's getting light over Brooklyn, I should say. The sun won't come for a while. This is a Thursday. I think it's Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. This is a Thursday of the Thursday before we turn the clocks back. So this weekend we'll have the clocks back and maybe be a little brighter in the morning, but well, only because we'll be an hour late. But you know how all that silly stuff works. Radio check. Lima Charlie. Dalton, you're going to go up there and grab a line from the Charleston, okay? We're going to do it at the midship bits. So now I've just gone all stop, only to bleed off some speed, because we're coming up to our turn. Now,
right at the manifolds where the two bullards are at. You want me to drop back more? This is close to midship.
Well, whatever works for you, Captain. So, like I say, I'm just using you as a safety net anyway, so whatever you're comfortable with.
Anything will work for me, so I'll just do it right here.
Finest kind. So, yeah, we're the assist boat that I have is one of our other boats, but he's usually an ATB, an articulated tug and barge. And I'm going to make sure, I think this is where I'm going up here. But it doesn't look right to me because
The security, Yasa Flamingo, Coastal Bayonne, westbound 38.
Go up here. Like I say, it's hard to see in the dark.
Sean Miller leaving Governor's Island back to work.
Anyway, he is an ATB, so he has these big knuckles, these big things that stick out the side of him with these huge pins that lock him in place with the barge, with his barge. So I can't. He's not an ideal assist boat, so he can't really roll around on the barge without hitting those knuckles. So what we have to do is we have to be really careful and go very slow, and then he'll come out at a 90, and he can lay alongside us or be at 90, 90 degrees perpendicular to us. Hey Dalton, I can't really see from here. That blue barge is just off at like 10 o'clock from us. Isn't that where we're going, or are we going on the next one up? Yeah, I thought so too. It just didn't look right from here, but like I say, I can't see too much. On the Charleston, if you can push as little as possible, they're kind of blowing me over to the other side of the channel.
I'm all fast. I'll stop.
All right, very good. Thank you so much. I'll try to roll her around right here. So I always get freaked out when I come over in the inside of Shooter's Island over here, because it seems like there's a lot of stuff that doesn't always work, as far as old pilings that are there. And when I was a deckhand years ago, I was on a boat that came out of the shipyard, and we went over to Clean Waters and got cleaned out and backed into some mysterious thing and messed up the wheel. And we weren't out of the shipyard 6 hours before we had to go back in again. So I've always been a little freaked out over here. Dalton, if you see something different, you let me know. But I'm going for the big, long blue barge, all right?
Yep, I'll do that.
Hard to get this thing to move. It's a big barge, and Charleston's a big tug over there, so it's hard to get this thing to move. But once I get it to move, she's starting to move on us now. So now I'll stop and just let it rotate around. Like I say, I don't want to put a lot of movement on him because of the knuckles that he has. I don't want to drive them into the barge, and I don't want the barge to drive into his knuckles. Okay, so now I'm doing a left twist. We're doing like a knot, and you can see the red line here. That means we're going right down the channel, so hopefully we'll still be in good water. It says we have 16 feet underneath us, so that's a good sign. Now I'm just going all stop to let everything settle down a little bit. Now, only because I'm sure it will come up in the comments. Anybody that's looking and seeing a red flashing light in the mirror or in the window, it's the reflection of one of the cameras that I have. That one of the cameras I shut the red light off, and the other one I leave on. And you guys usually don't see it because I usually film in the daytime, but I forgot to do anything about it today. Turn 13 down a little bit. Interesting. We just lost their AIS signal. So I'm not really sure why, but we don't really need it. But that's interesting.
Starboard side's got plenty of daylight down the side of that barge.
All right, very good. You want to give me clutch on one on the Charleston?
Clutch on one.
Now what I'm doing here, I'd like to drive this thing up at the angle that we have right here, but I'm concerned about him because there's some pilings on the other side of him and some water that I'm not I'm kind of freaked. Like I said, I kind of freaked out about the water over there, and the only thing worse than putting me aground would be putting my assist tug aground. Cause, oh, that'd be awful. So I don't know what's over there. So I'm having him lean on us to try to get more room on his side. Okay, there's his AIS signal is back now. So I don't know what happened there, but maybe it's too close. I don't know. Okay, so he's keeping us from moving, meaning rotating. I want to rotate counterclockwise to the left, and because he's pushing up there, it's keeping that from happening. So I have to give more power in my twist to try to flatten out while he's pushing us over. And you can see the predictor line. My predictor line is working right, so everything looks like it's working out. 150 wide, 200 feet ahead. Very good. Okay, so because we're getting closer, I'm going to try to flatten out some more. And that way he can continue to push us over and buy himself some more room on those nasty pilings. I'm just about hooked up in a full left twist, but because he's halfway up the barge, it's hard to rotate against there. But I think we're gaining all the time, so everything's working. So I think we got a lot of new subscribers are involved, or at least new viewers on board, and we always seem to get the same questions over and over again. Yeah, say again?
100 feet wide.
All right. I'll stop for a second on the Charleston. Yeah, we always seem to get the same questions all the time, and one of them is that why does it shake so much up here? And I've even made a video about it. You can look if you're interested. You can see a video on cavitation. But what happens is we've got these huge wheels that are like 8 foot around, and when you have one hooked up ahead and one hooked up astern, they actually rip the water into a vacuum. I'm not making that up. That's really what's happening. And then as the vacuum collapses, first of all, when it rips into a vacuum, it makes steam bubbles, which sounds kind of weird, but that's really how it works. And you can check that if you're interested in that sort of thing. But as the steam bubbles collapse and as the vacuum collapses, it makes a shock wave. And those shock waves are what produces cavitation. And that's where we're over here. All right, on the Charleston, go ahead and give me clutch on 1.
Clutch on 1.
Is this Tom?
It's me, Charlie.
Oh, okay. Sorry, man. I haven't worked with him for a while, so I didn't recognize his voice. Okay, so... All right, cool. We'll just slowly move over that way, and I think we'll do good. Does the tankerman want to put down his yokies, or does he just want to lay on the barge?
I think we'll lay on the barge. Okay, they got tired. We got to be tired. We got the barge. I don't think our yokis will reach.
All right, cool. Okay, so he's starting to beat me. In other words, he's putting... All right. He's starting to overpower me, so I have to increase my power to try to stay flat. We're closing the distance all the time, but I want to keep that. If you see this angle here on the red line, I want to keep that at about a 45-degree angle, so not only do we close the distance, but we start moving in as well. All right. right, go. I'll stop again on the Charleston.
So,
60 on the down, 50. 50 rod on the down. 70 feet ahead, start coming the rest of the barge. I'm at the 45 wide.
That's interesting. I was remembering when I told him that I wanted him at the centerline bits, and he wanted to go a little bit ahead of that.
Cover the rest of the barge, 45 wide, so we'll come to 40.
Very good. And I didn't think it mattered that much, so I was like, yeah, well, we can work around that. If he wants to be there, you know, he's doing me a favor by helping me out, so let's do whatever he's comfortable with. Well,
40 wide, so we're at 45.
now we're in a situation where I can't use him to be clutch on one because he's overpowering us. The farther he is towards the bow, the more power he'll have on pushing the bow over. If I had him back here at the stern, he would push the barge and the tug over all at the same time, which, note to Tim, next time you're using a big 4200 like that, put him further back. On the Charleston, are you cool or you want to bug out?
I'm good to go.
All right, cool, man. Thanks. Like I say, I think I came in here with a Philadelphia last time. We took them right to the bulkhead, but I always get wigged out in this area. So if you get wiggy about it, don't worry. We can drop you a line.
I'm good. Been back in here many times.
All right. All right, what do we got? 200 to the bulkhead?
Yeah, about that, maybe a little less.
Very good. So I'm just a stop right now. We're doing 1 knot, and if you look at the red predictor line, we're going straight in the slip, so everything's working out pretty good. And I'm just letting it fall in nice and easy. The temptation would be to have him give me clutch on one, but I'll just drive the bow right over there. All right. So I'm going to set up my rudder hard to port to get ready for a left twist to twist against him. Because when I ask him to push over, I want to push against him because he's going to drive that bow right over. Well, we got about 100 feet to the bulkhead.
Bulkhead now.
Say again?
A little over 100 feet ahead to the bulkhead, so 50 miles down.
Beautiful. All right, everything's shaping up pretty good.
So we're coming into 45 miles down.
45 on the bow.
90 feet ahead to the bulkhead, so we're coming up to 80.
All right. So now I'm giving a little left twist. The bow is falling in, which is what I want anyway, but now I got the stern checked up. Now I'll have him give me clutch on one. All right, on the Charleston, give me clutch on one.
Show 1.
45 wide, 70 feet ahead.
All right. Okay, so now I got to watch him because he's going to put a lot of power up there, so I need to...
40 feet ahead, I'll bow be from the end of the barge.
All right. So now you can see my red line now is going off at a 45-degree angle, and I think because I've got the forward progress stopped, that should start coming out almost to a 90. All right, I'll stop on the Charleston and let it drift.
Stop.
35 on the down, 30.
And it looks like we got a man on the barge to catch lines for us. That's a little
40
different.
feet ahead to the bulkhead.
Dalton, do you want to land here, or do you want me to come ahead a little bit?
Yeah, we're going to come ahead a little bit more. We're at 25 on the bow, 20 on the stern, 30 ahead to the bulkhead.
All right, like 10 feet ahead you want me to go, or 20 feet?
We're checking that spot now. We're coming up to 25 feet ahead, 15 wide all the way down.
Very good. Now, I started to bring my rudder to midship to check everything up, but the bow is coming over pretty good. So now,
Anywhere around here would be good. We're at 12 wide all the way down.
So,
And the bow, 20.
so since the bow was taken off on me, I put the rudder hard to the left to get it ready to check it up.
The bow, 15 on the stern.
Now I just give it a little check. For 10 on the bow, 15 on the stern.
10 wide on the bow, coming into 8.
We're pretty good where we need to be right here. We can come ahead a few more feet, but not too much.
All right, do you guys got a line out yet or not yet?
We're about to get one. He was over here telling me where to spot it.
Okay, no, I thought he said something about checking up a line, so not a problem. We'll get it right here for you and drive into that, and we'll be good to go.
8 wide all the way down, close to 12, midway stop.
On the Charleston, can you just give me a bump in and out?
Bump in and out.
So sometimes people ask what that is, and that's just where you get one engine and you click it in, you feel that it engages, connects with the barge, and then you take it out. So just give you minimal power to push up. Oh, looks like the bow is shooting over there now, so I gotta give a real big hard twist.
6 on the stern, bow's going, now coming into the top.
Okay, good. Got it just in time.
Going down now. Yeah, still coming heavy over there here, too.
All right, I'll put the brakes on. Go ahead and give me clutch on 1 on the Charleston. So now that we're up against the barge, we're just going to have him pin us in position here.
About 12 feet ahead. As soon as we get this line on, we'll wrap it up.
Do you need me to back up or anything, or are we good?
We're good. Maybe just a quick tap of stern.
Quick tap astern.
And this is about as short as we're going to be able to get the side, the front side down. We can start working ahead here, Tim. It's not turning into a back to me now. We're touching up on the bow.
All right.
Hang on 1 second, Tim. We got to adjust this line. It's about to fall off the cleat.
Okay, no problem.
We can start working ahead here, Tim. About 6 feet ahead. It'll be a forward spring.
Coming ahead.
Divert by now.
All right. Got to check out with traffic. Traffic from the Elk River.
Somebody stops here.
That's where you want us, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want a line to push into, that's on the brush line now.
All right, I'll come ahead a little bit.
Yeah, once we get a little lead on it, because we're sitting so high, I'm just going to pull it off the cleat. It's only coming into the river, and I'll wrap it up.
Good morning. The Elk River is all secure. You can check me out. Thank you so much.
Elk River traffic
Before
right.
it's wrapped up, slowly coming next to it.
Very good. Thank you. All right.
We got 15 feet ahead, so we're coming up to 12.
So I'm tempted to say that we're here, we got a couple lines out, there's nothing more to see, and then every time I say that, I always get a ton of comments. People say, oh, we want to watch the whole thing tie up. not a lot for you to see here. But anyway. So, before I say goodbye, a couple things I should tell you is those that aren't familiar with VTS, it's kind of like air traffic control or ATC, but it's for mariners. There's a wonderful video that, I don't know that it's a wonderful video, but we had a wonderful opportunity to shoot a video inside of VTS, and they walked us through everything, and maybe I'll put the link in the comment, link in the description down below for you to check that out. Also, if you haven't seen it already, I'm getting ready. I have less than 1 week to go before I get off the boat and head down to pick up my sailboat and sail offshore to Puerto Rico, 1,500 miles. We're not going down the coast. We're going out to Bermuda, and then we hang a right and head all the way down to Puerto Rico. Should be a lot of fun. And anyway, if that's something that you're interested in seeing, check out my other channel. It's SV Paquita. So SV Paquita, I'll put a link for that down below too. I would love to have you come along. It's a different channel. This is more of a education and demonstration channel, and the other one there is kind of more of a average guy, not the young and the beautiful or the rich, but an average blue-collar guy who got his kids through school. They're out on their own. Everything's cool. Sold everything, and I bought a boat, and I've been on the water all my life, but I'm not a sailor. What I mean by that is that, sure, we all know how to sail, and that's fine, but just because you have a license doesn't mean you can drive a tugboat. You really need years of doing that, but I think the same probably applies to sailboats too. So come along with me as I learn how to make the transition between the commercial life and the recreational life, and it should be a lot of fun. And when you see this, you might be able to see in the comments on the other side, or in a couple of the videos on the other channel, where I actually have a satellite tracker, so you can track us all the way down to Puerto Rico. So anyway, hopefully we'll make it. Anyway, thank you for coming along, and as always, I'll see you on the water.